Well, good morning, everyone, and today is a special day. Thank you. Could you bring me the stand as well? We have, in the requirements of the Episcopal Church, we have a business meeting that happens once a year in public. We do it at both services. I promise you it will be expedient, and you will learn a couple of things, and it's important. So we'll do our business, give you a couple of reports, and then we'll move on with the rest of our day and our worship. So I'll call us to order. Our first order of business always is our financial picture, and we have a great treasurer, Sharon Price, and an assistant, David Jones. So Sharon's going to come up and give you some details and talk about where we are. And I think, I'm not sure about David, but I know how she's dressed is indicative of where we are.
And David's coming up.
And David's right behind you. Good, great.
I'm coming up to talk about what happened this past year, and yes, I have on my black dress. So that's the most important part. We finished the year in the black, and I also was pleased to see on All Saints Sunday, I don't know if everyone else noticed, we had more baptisms at St. John's than we had burials at St. John's this last year. And for an older downtown parish, that is excellent, excellent news. So yes, applause all around. Now, Shay and David and I have been a great combination the last couple of years. I'm definitely 50,000 feet. David and Shay get into the formulas on the Excel spreadsheets. I do not do that. But it's wonderful to have Shay and David that do that, and I'll turn things over to David Jones now.
Thank you, Sharon, and again, thanks to this congregation for the support. We cannot allow Sharon to wear a black dress without the support of so many people here. So each year, we don't take it for granted that we're able to do that. So in the service sheet, there's just a quick overview of the ins and outs for the past year. And really, it starts with our pledges, and about 80% of our funding comes from pledges. The remaining amounts are some unfunded pledges and some other sources of income. So once again, the key to anything we do is us and this congregation. And I want to call out, as we think about next year's budget, very happy to report that it looks like we've seen both an increase in the number of families pledging and an increase in total pledges. So thanks to Mark Love and the Stewardship Committee, that really is the starting point for how we can commit our resources for the next year. So thank you there. And then on the other side of the ledger, how do we spend our money? And as most service organizations, which is St. John's, the bulk of it's going to be personnel costs. So about 62% is clergy and staff, salaries, benefits, et cetera. About another 19 to 20% is related to keeping the building up and running the operations, stuff like maintenance, insurance, utilities. And then about 19% is everything else, our worship, outreach, music, education, et cetera. So a little overview of where the money comes from, how we spend it. I would also mention, not included in here is some funding we provide to the community through our endowment income. And there's an endowment committee that determines where we donate those funds. And the last couple of years, we've had some pretty significant commitments to organizations like VMC, Green Magnet, and Grace Point Camp. So anyway, that's a quick overview. Again, thank you. We're so grateful to be part of this community and the support we get each year. Thank you so much.
David, thank you. You have a written report from Al Bettinger, our junior warden. He's in the Sawtooth Mountains, isn't he? No? Somewhere. He's somewhere in the mountains, but anyway. You can read the report in front of you. We have a great building and grounds committee led by Al Bettinger and, of course, staffed by Cody Gray. They're doing a magnificent job. In fact, they've done something highly unusual. We're one of the very few parishes, I believe, in the United States that has this expertise. They are working and have acquitted and will now match it up with our finances, a facilities stewardship report, so that we will know what needs to be repaired, what needs to be replaced over the next year so that we can anticipate those. Then Sharon, the Finance Committee, can lead us into raising the money so that we don't get caught unawares. It is highly unusual. It helps with our depreciation. And I have to say, Cody was the one who was pushing this, and he's a great colleague, and they've done a great job. So take a look at that. Reports, you know, the building is really important. We try to have it not take all of our energy and time, and they keep it in balance, but it's under good leadership with Sid Hankins, and Jeff Johnson also is part of that team coaching Cody about how we manage this great place that we get to worship in. The next piece of business will be our report from our past senior warden, our retiring senior warden, Jeff Johnson. He's on duty till Tuesday. I reminded him, so he's going to come up and give you a couple of brief comments. And do you mind standing on this side of the podium? You'll be heard better. There you go, my friend. Yep, thank you.
It's been my pleasure to be the senior warden this past year. As in my position as senior warden, I've attended many weekly staff meetings, and I'm always impressed at, you know, the extent of between services, Bible studies, baptisms, funerals, weddings. The staff and clergy are busy almost every single day of the week. It's really amazing to see them plan the logistics for those services. Everything from, you know, who's going to sit where, how to get where to park cars, just everything that you can imagine. We've had some big issues this year to do with real estate and parking, but we've sort of started lots of things. Haven't really, under my term, haven't really finished any of those things. But I have every faith that the upcoming chapter and chapters to come will always do what's in the best interest of St. John's. Thank you all very much.
We've been blessed over the years to have great senior wardens, and it's extremely important because the senior warden really is the person who helps us manage both staff, get your ideas and put them together with the work we set before us and the priorities we set. So thank you, Jeff, and I appreciate your work. And you'll hear after Tuesday who our new slate of officers is once we get rolling into the new year. Our next piece of business, very quickly, is I want to thank the outgoing chapter members, and I hope you'll take a look at their pictures. If you see them, thank them. Drew Everett was at Early Church. He's not with us. Jeff Johnson is retiring. Elaine McDonald, James Newbern, and Meg Sprouse have served the last 3 years on chapter and done a fabulous job. Meg just cannot quit, so she's coming back next year as our stewardship chair. She must owe somebody some money. I don't know why she's doing that, but she's doing a great job, and they've been wonderful. She and Mark Love have worked side by side, so we're in good leadership. So thank them for really stepping forward. So the next business we need to do is we pull together the retiring chapter members, those 5, pull in another group at large from you all, not from the staff. The staff are not part of this process, to really expansively think about leadership. And really do that wisely. One of the really characteristics, and we own this, is we want to renew the chapter every year with younger and newer members. So please don't be offended. That's the business of the church, the next generation. I'm at that place to know that. So we've done a great job this year. Again, we don't have 5, we have 20 that people we're talking to. And we try to use a scriptural process rather than a voting process. Who is able at the time, has the energy, can make it a priority in his or her life. And so those are the people we raise up. So we always have a pool right behind them. If those people cannot serve, we have many who will. And so thank all of you always if you're being considered. I appreciate that. So those that they raised up this year are Steve Bailey, Harriet Bowden, Ellen Koenig, Mary Bailey Oakes, and Jared Smith. And since that is come from a committee, I need a second, and then I'll ask you to affirm their appointment. So do I have a second? Thank you, that's all I needed. And I'll say aye to elect these people. Aye. Thank you. If you say no, you have to serve. So it usually gets everybody to be quiet really, really quick. Last piece of business, and I promise you we will go back to our worship. We will be sending, the clergy will send you kind of a state of the church. You don't need to hear it. It'd be better to be read. But some perspectives of different things that we're working on with many of you in committees so that the whole congregation kind of is aware of where we push off as we begin 2024. Jeff alluded to a couple of those. At issue will always be property issues, and extremely, extremely important and vital every day. It's vital this morning. It will be vital tomorrow is parking. I'm not kidding. It is absorbing so much energy. We are on some pathways to plan for the future, and you'll hear more about that. But if you will, I need a motion to affirm that we are a 501c3 organization in the state of Tennessee. Thank you, and all in favor say aye. Wasn't that painless? Thank you all. And again, that used to take about an hour and a half. So you're welcome.